Springboks up against Canada in Pool B. It's the final game for the Springboks of the pool stages. Canada have still got two to go. They've only played the two games. Canada, realistically, I think most people would say have got their eyes on that last game against Namibia for the battle of the wooden spoon of that pool to see who gets that Rugby World Cup win. Whereas the Springboks still need to go out and do a job for this one. They have made a lot of changes. I will put the teams in the description. But realistically, it should be a game where the Springboks walk out fairly comfortable winners. The rugby history between these two teams is pretty short, just the two games, and none of them recent. The most recent one was in the year 2000, and that was a 51-18 victory for the Springboks. So over the course of those two games, the average score was 35-9. I think the other one was 20-0. So, and that was in like 1990, was it 95 or something. So it's been a long time since these teams met, and the Springboks have not lost either of those two games. Springboks, they played on Friday, so it's a relatively short turnaround for them. So they will need to make some changes, and you can see they have. I think a lot of Springbok fans will be pretty happy that Damian Willemse is there at fullback. He's been called into the squad as an injury replacement, so he gets a game, which is good news for both him and for Springbok fans, because that guy's got a lot of potential. Elton Jantjies is there at 10. Cobus Reinach gets a game at 9. So these three guys, none of them played in the last game. Likewise, Warrick Gelant, he's in on the wing, which is not usually his natural position, but he has played there before. So those three guys have all been called up, and Nkosi as well. Nkosi is on the left wing. It's a hugely changed set of backs for the Springboks. You have got Frans Steyn, who played on the bench in the last one, and Damian Allende is still there. He moves out 1 to 13. So again, a few guys who are shifting positions, but the All Blacks did it against Namibia in the interest of resting some of the guys, so I guess the Springboks are doing the same here. The front row, Thomas du Toit is at loose head, Schalk Brits is at hooker, not in the loose forwards this time, and Vincent Koch is at tight head. So again, two guys in Brits and du Toit, who didn't play in the last game at all, and Koch, who was on the bench. New second row pairing in Snyman and Mostert, but both were on the bench for the last one. And Kolisi continues on at 6, Kwagga Smith's in at 7, and Francois is up from the bench at 8. So it's a hugely changed side. Definitely looking at reducing the impact of the quick turnaround, keeping these guys fresh, and also giving the guys who haven't been playing some minutes, which is also equally important, so that if they do get called up to start one of the knockout games, then they're not kind of coming in cold. The bench is Marx, Kitshoff, and Malherbe. Alongside him, those guys are Etzebeth, Pieter-Steph, Toit, Herschel, Jantjies, Andre Pollard, and Willie Louw. So that's the Springboks lineup. Canada, on the other hand, they played on Wednesday, so it's a decent rest for them. Doesn't get any easier for them in that they're playing the Springboks, though. They've still made a few changes. Bailey comes into the second row. Koch moves up from the bench into fullback. There's still fairly settled lineup, like Hustler and DTH van der Merwe are the wings. Hearn and Trainer in the midfield. Nelson still at 10. Mac moves up to 9, the veteran. They've swapped the front row with the bench players. The back row is the same. Keep an eye out for that guy, Lucas Rumble. He was in the media here in New Zealand for getting a pretty rough shot on him by Kieran Reid. But in that game against the All Blacks, he made 19 tackles. He missed 1. So some of these Canadian guys are definitely putting a very big shift. So we hope we can see more of that for this one. Springboks, though, will looking to do a job. If you look at the predictions, Rugby Forecast, the algorithm's got the Springboks by 42 points, so pretty comfortable. The bookies have gone one step further in saying that it's South Africa by 52. I think South Africa, if they get a bonus point win here, then I believe mathematically they are through to the knockout stages. And even if they didn't, by some miracle, I think Italy would still need to get a victory over the All Blacks. It might even be a bonus point one from memory to provide any threat to the South African spot. So realistically, the Springboks should be going through here pretty comfortably. One eye on the knockout stages. Still can't take this game for granted. Still got to go there and do a job. look at that Namibian first half hour against the All Blacks. So, any team can cause you problems. And the Canadians, they're going to lift when playing a big team like the Springboks as well. So, should be a good game. It's the only one on the Tuesday, so hopefully lots of eyeballs on this one. You guys let me know your thoughts on it, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.